Hello, I am Colby Lopez, a student and student government senator/treasurer at WVU Tech, and politician from Southern West Virginia. In this video, I will discuss current events in city politics. This video was originally going to talk about state politics. However, last night I virtually attended a city council meeting for Oak Hill, West Virginia, which is Oak Hill, West Virginia is where I live. And so I, whenever this issue was brought up, went back through the minutes of various council meetings to see what this individual and others had said on this issue, which I feel vehemently should not be an issue, but it is anyways. So, I went to, for first and second grade, a school known as East End Elementary School. East End Elementary School was a elementary school right behind an old Domino's, which has now burnt down, a Domino's Pizza, which was along Main Street. And it was a fairly small school, and it became an abandoned building after New River Elementary School was created, which closed down all schools except for, of course, the New River Elementary School and Rosedale Elementary School. And so I went to New River for 3rd and 4th grade. Over the years, like I mentioned, the Domino's that was in front of the East End Elementary School burnt down, and now Domino's is in a separate location, which I believe is either on the edge of city limits or even outside of them. And then also on that same corner on Main Street is an abandoned gas station. As a result, I and my family referred to that corner as the abandoned corner or something to that extent, as there are 3 buildings: the old East End Elementary, burnt down Domino's, and an abandoned gas station on that corner. Those who are homeless in our city commonly use these structures for shelter. And, of course, homeless people are victims, not criminals. And so, by no means should we villainize those who happen to be seeking out shelter in buildings that aren't being used for anything. Recently, there was, in this corner area, the Department of Health and Human Resources were permitted to create a halfway house. And, unfortunately, this halfway house has been a source of controversy among some residents here in Oak Hill. Now, the part that I am fine with them raising is they believe that the permitting process is flawed, and that the city of Oak Hill has gone through the process of permitting such a halfway house too quickly. As such, the city of Oak Hill is actually being sued over the permitting of this halfway house. in this area. However, last night at the city council meeting, I heard concerns over the very concept of a halfway house in Oak Hill. Quote, that it would be detrimental to our small town, end quote. Or, quote, they don't have rights because they're criminally insane. Which disgusted me to hear that. I don't care who you are, you still have rights. That is ridiculous. And just overall, people talking about not wanting to have it in the city. Council members were not a part of these comments, I should know. These were all people in support of suing the city over the permitting of this house who made these comments. So let me give you some facts about halfway houses. A halfway house is an institute for people with criminal backgrounds or drug abuse tendencies to reintegrate into society with support. Even if, in this instance, we're going to take this awful comment of they were criminally insane and therefore they don't have rights, which just to mean that, okay, so they were in a mental hospital prior to this halfway house. So a criminal background, drug abuse, mental hospital. Okay, sure. I do not see a problem with that. And as such, I view this vocal and litigious group as committing discrimination. That is exactly why there is a revolving door on crime and drug abuse. Drug abusers, or more factually, drug victims, are in a revolving door of use after getting clean because of the discrimination that comes with prior drug habits. Those who commit crimes, again, after being released from jail, do that a lot of the time because there's discrimination against them for having been in jail and already having paid their dues for committing that crime. And those in mental hospitals, they would not be released even into a halfway house if they were not safe to re-enter society. And even then, they would still have rights. Because they're human. Ugh. This is exactly why we need a restorative justice system, including halfway houses, as the correct way forward when it comes to crimes, drug abuse, mental illness, or anything else. This group is discriminating in a way that is leading to the very problem they are trying to prevent with their lawsuit, which is danger to the community. Their very discrimination is endangering them because they're causing the revolving door to spin faster. We currently have a punitive justice system as seen by this litigious group. Our country has the most people in prison than any other country. Obviously, our system does not work. If we have arrested more people than dictatorships, than countries with billions more people than us, Billions! There are countries that understand that drug abuse, for instance, is a healthcare issue, which was part of what I was going to talk about originally for the state politics video, and not a criminal issue. There are countries that understand that after you've spent time in jail, or paid your fine, or whatever the fuck else your punishment for committing a crime was, that in order to make sure you don't do it again, we make sure that you're actually able to be a productive citizen in society, and we make sure that people don't discriminate against you just because of something you did wrong in your past. This is utter ridiculousness. I condemn this discrimination as the cause of exactly why they oppose the halfway house. If the permitting process is flawed, I'm fine with you dealing with that. But do not discriminate against and attack former criminals and drug victims who are in the process of trying to better themselves. I understand that speaking like this is going to anger this group if they see this video. But I don't care. Everything I'm saying is fact. They are discriminating against former criminals and drug victims. Not to mention those with mental illness who all have human rights. Sure, when you're in prison, you must give up a couple of rights, but you have rights. When you are in many situations, you give up a couple of rights, but you are still a human. You still have a right to many, many things. This group needs to focus on the permitting process, which very well may be flawed. They can sue over that all they want. I do not want them, however, to be suing over a halfway house existing in their neighborhood. A halfway house is part of a system built to protect them. Halfway houses need more funding, more locations, more support, not less. Just to be clear, just in case this video does get seen by anyone involved, I have no association with the city. I am not paid by the city directly or indirectly. I, in fact, ran against many of the people on the council, and I also do not, I am not the biggest fan of our city manager. I believe that, I am not associated with this lawsuit. I, do not support either side of this lawsuit, as I do not know the full details. I do not oppose either side of this lawsuit because I do not know the full details. But from what I heard at that council meeting, I heard blatant discrimination and fear over something that is the exact reason that we have the potential to not have a revolving door. This halfway house while it may not, it'll help Oak Hill. It'll help Fayette County. It'll help West Virginia. It'll help the United States of America. This one house. I'm not talking about the system. This one house. It'll help the world. Simply by the fact that there will be fewer of those who are in this halfway house who recommit crimes or who recommit crimes against themselves through drug abuse. Simply put, while there are definite flaws in the halfway house system, the answer is not to get rid of them. The answer is not to oppose them. The answer is not to discriminate against those who utilize halfway houses. The way is to improve the system and make it easier for criminals who paid their due, those who used to have debilitative mental illness, and those who are drug victims to reintegrate themselves. This video was going to be on a statewide issue that involved drug victims. But I guess I'm going to leave that to another video. Since last night I saw the need to stand up against discrimination. Please like this video, share it with friends and family, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, making sure to hit the bell icon. But take this message to heart, damn it. Please also check out my social media. It sounds so awful for me to do this outro, but I'm doing it. Instagram, @Lopez for Change. Twitter, @LopezForChange. Snapchat, @Lopez for Oak Hill WV. And Facebook, facebook.com/Colby.Lopez.12, which all should be linked in the description. Please stay safe, de-stress, and understand the damage of your actions. I am Colby Lopez, and yes, I approve this message.